everyone! It's your boy Rustlin back with another video, and let me tell you, this one's gonna blow your mind. We're talking all about bread today. Yeah, bread! I know what you're thinking. Bread? That's boring. But trust me, you won't believe some of the crazy facts I'm about to drop on you. We're going way back in time, talking ancient civilizations, weird uses for bread, and even some stuff that's downright dangerous. You don't want to miss this. Okay, first up, let's talk about how old bread actually is. You know how everyone says bread is life? Well, they're not wrong. This stuff has been around forever, like way back to the Neolithic era. That's like 10,000 years ago. Can you believe it? These early humans weren't exactly master bakers, though. They were probably just grinding up some grains, adding water, and cooking it over an open fire. But hey, it was a start, right? And think about it, people have been eating bread for that long. It's crazy to think that something we eat every day has been a staple food for humans for thousands and thousands of years. It just goes to show how important bread is to our history and culture. So next time you're enjoying a slice of toast, take a moment to appreciate its long and storied past. You're eating something ancient. All right, get this. In ancient Egypt, bread wasn't just food, it was money. That's right, they used it as currency. Imagine walking into a store and paying for your stuff with a baguette. They were paid in bread rations, and they even used it to pay their taxes. You could say they were literally baking their way to wealth. It makes you wonder, what if we still use bread as money today? Imagine getting paid in sourdough loaves. I wouldn't complain. It would definitely make budgeting a lot more delicious. But seriously, it just goes to show how valuable bread was in ancient times. It was more than just food. It was a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Sliced bread, the greatest thing since, well, you know. Now let's jump forward a few thousand years to the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties, the Jazz Age. This is when sliced bread hit the scene and changed everything. Before that, people had to slice their own bread. Can you imagine the struggle? It was messy, it was time-consuming, and it was probably super annoying. But then, boom, sliced bread comes along, and it's like the greatest invention since, well, ever. People went wild for it. It was convenient, it was uniform, and it made life so much easier. And that, my friends, is where the phrase, "the best thing since sliced bread," comes from. It was such a game changer that people started using it to describe anything amazing. From plate to stomach, the edible history of trenchers. Okay, this next one is a little bit weird, but trust me, it's interesting. Back in medieval times, people didn't have fancy plates like we do today. Instead, they used trenchers, which were basically just stale pieces of bread. They would put their food on top of the trenchers, and then when they were done, they would eat the trencher. Talk about reducing waste, right? It was like having an edible plate. Can you imagine how much bread they must have gone through? And what about the soggy bread at the end? I guess you had to be pretty hungry to eat your plate, but hey, it was the medieval times. The dark side of bread moldy mishaps. All right, last but not least, we need to talk about the dark side of bread mold. We've all been there, you open your bread bag and bam, you're hit with that fuzzy green monster. But here's the thing, some types of mold can actually be harmful to humans. They produce these nasty things called mycotoxins, which can make you sick. So before you chomp down on that slice of bread, make sure you give it a good sniff test. If it smells funky or looks fuzzy, it's better to be safe than sorry and toss it out. Remember folks, bread is delicious and all, but it's not worth risking your health over. So there you have it, 5 mind-blowing bread facts that you probably didn't know. Who knew that something as simple as bread could have such a long and fascinating history, right? From ancient currency to edible plates, bread has played a vital role in human civilization. And even though it can sometimes be a little bit moldy, we can all agree that bread is pretty darn delicious. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these bread facts, make sure to like and subscribe for more fun videos. See you next time.